everyone. First of all, happy and sorry. Is it only related to HR? This is easy for me.
My pleasure and thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, you understand why actors are paid more. The day I was able to influence any policy changes, the first thing that I brought to enforcement was 6 months maternity leave instead of 3 months. And gradually, that's when the government of Karnataka also enforced 6 months maternity leave as the break. So I take pride in it. I mean, many organizations have done it, but I did my bit when I could influence.
Tips you want to give who's upcoming HR professional?
Piece of advice from me, not just for HR professionals, but to all budding professionals. More focus to the women, of course, is do not give up your career. You know, if there is a life challenge to manage, pause it, but don't stop. And for the upcoming budding male professionals, men, do recognize the fact that somehow we are wired differently. The woman and man are wired differently. Recognize that fact and be a strong ally to support and flourish women's career.
Hello everyone. First of all, happy and prosperous New Year. Welcome to the episode 7 Leaders Speak podcast. Today we have a very amazing person, Kasturi Cotha. She has more than 25 years experience in HR. And let's dive in and understand the challenges, the struggles, the story behind her. Thank you. Welcome to this podcast.
Thank you so much, Basurash. Thank you for the invite and wishing you, your team and the listeners and the viewers of your podcast a happy and a prosperous new year.
Thank you so much. Let me understand, can you just talk about your family, where you born, just to know the personal life.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, I'm a Pakka Bengaluru Hudgi.
That's great.
Born, brought up. I've raised in Bangalore. My forefathers have also been very much here. The name also suggests. We are... I did my schooling in St. Mary's Girls High School, college in BMS Women's College. I pursued my graduation in psychology, and that's how HR happened. Of course, I could deep dive on that later, and did my post-graduation diploma in Bangalore City College, and then got into work. And on the personal front, I am blessed with 2 siblings. I have 2 younger sisters. One is working as Senior Development Manager with Applied Materials. The other one is working as Technical Lead Architect in Nokia. My parents are our strength. All 3 of us are pursuing a sound career. I'm married to a builder.
Okay.
And I have 2 children. My daughter is in 11th grade and my son is in 9th grade.
That's great.
That's what my story unfolds.
Thank you so much for sharing. And you are there from last 25 years in HR, and it's like a huge, if you take it as an experience, which is huge, and you would have got so much of knowledge about HR. I want to ask you, what made you to choose HR, not any other profession? That's very to understand.
Actually, HR happened to me slightly accidentally.
Oh, is it?
But no regrets.
Okay.
So it so happened that, as I mentioned, I pursued my graduation in psychology, and I was quite interested and very intrigued on psychology, clinical psychology and all of that. So I did, soon after graduation, I did do an internship in a schizophrenic rehabilitation center. I think that was an eye-opener. I really couldn't take so much of psychological handling and things like that. I think it was third day and literally I was in tears to go back to my internship place. I felt it wasn't a place for me and I wasn't too strong. And then my parents said, I mean, listen, it was you who chose. We are not compelling. I mean, you can always choose an alternate. And I spoke to my professors as well. And firstly, my HODs, she said, firstly, I mean, you're just so raw and you going for a schizophrenic rehabilitation center was a wrong move. That isn't the way you should start off. You're not really experienced enough. And return, I was just thinking, okay, this may not be because it requires a lot more stronger self and maybe it was too early for me, but still I felt I might not relate to it on a long run. And then I was wondering, what do I do now? And the final year specialization was in industrial psychology.
Okay.
While clinical psychology is across common for all the students, specialization was in industrial psychology. And that's when I said, okay, I liked the subject. I was enjoying it. Why do I look at it only for clinical psychology? I might as well, look into industrial psychology, and that's how HR happened to me. And I'm glad. I think I was walking back from my college. If I can say, okay, the time I decided, yeah, I should do this. I was passing by the famous VB bakery.
Okay.
I treated myself with a apple cake because I used to love that apple cake. I said, okay, this is the decision I've made. Let me treat myself with this. And I will go in the way of industrial psychology and whatever I should equip myself to pursue this career. And that's how HR happened.
That's great. That's great. Can you just elaborate about industrial psychology? That because I should know what do you mean by
Okay.
maybe you know theoretically, but not in a practical what you want. If you could elaborate those things.
Yes. So industrial psychology talks about what is the psychological aspects of the workforce, industry as such.
You mean
Employees,
Okay.
or supervisors, and the dynamics between the thing, and then those are the mental well-beings, so it is a discipline of psychology. So where it means it takes the inspiration of psychological concepts, spreads across within the industry framework, right? I mean, so how does this apply when it comes to say employee manager communication, relationship? So there's a lot to do with dynamics, a lot to do with the mental framework between the two individuals, right? So I think those are the elements that it kind of unwraps. While the typical conventional HR, human resource management piece deals more from a organizational perspective, what are needed from a business enabling function of human resource.
Okay.
While industrial psychology deals more from a psychological aspects of employer-employee bonding and things like that.
Okay.
So I had to take a little 360-degree reversal in terms of grooming myself. So that's when I pursued my post-graduation diploma in Bangalore City College, and that's how I equipped myself to become a HR person. Now, at 25 years of HR experience, I find so very relevant that I have my background in psychology as a subject or a discipline that comes so humanely useful for me in my function. Today, whatever little considerations I have in terms of flourishing my career in HR, I think a large role is from being an industrial psychology student.
Oh, that's great. Superb. Acha, I think I came across a couple of articles on LinkedIn about yours. Like you're more into women HR forums. Why only women? More into because if you're woman, like going to be connect very well, or that because have a different kind of HR forums, right? But I came across a couple of things more towards to women HR forums.
Yeah. There are multiple reasons for it. One, maybe if I were to take my upbringing, we are three sisters.
Okay.
So I've always had that kind of cut on what is it differently placed for women. I mean, that's always been my notion or an approach that I look at. And even in the workplace, wherever possible, to my best of the capacity, whatever is needed to establish women convenience in the workplace has been my focus. I struggled with 3 months maternity leave when I had my 2 kids. And then I said, okay, the day I can make a decision, I'll make it 6 months. So that, it doesn't put pressure on women to give up their career as an option. I mean, it takes a lot more struggle and a lot more, challenges by women to pursue her career. So what is the best that can be done is to make it a little more ease, make it a little more comfortable, make it a little more convenient. Then I'm sure a lot many women will choose to continue their career. So yeah, I mean, there came a day. The day I was able to influence any policy changes, the first thing that I brought to enforcement was 6 months maternity leave instead of 3 months. And gradually, that's when the government of Karnataka also enforced 6 months maternity leave as the break. So I take pride in it. I mean, many organizations have done it, but I did my bit when I could influence. So maybe it starts off there, and then it was also about considering that the workforce pipeline is leaking for women when it comes to the life situations when they have to manage. Typically we keep talking about all of this in all our forums. The marriage, the motherhood, and So all of these are few of the things which influence. Those are life changing moments, and many women choose to not continue all of it. But then I felt sad. I mean, as an economy, India is aiming to be the third largest economy. Why should women lose out to contribute, right? So if only we are able to, facilitate that. Another reason was also that I saw a lot of classmates of mine, or all of them, who are wanting to get, who were married early, who had their, motherhood early, and now in my age, they want to do something, and then they end up doing some passion and following up with their passion, following up with their interest that has enabled, and slowly they have commercialized it as well. They bought in the economical features as well. So I mean, that also kind of influenced to me. Many might be doing, but can I contribute to that as well, where I am able to bring back women back to workforce so that the contribution is measured.
Okay.
When we are having a secondary income by women, it is not going to be measured. But a lot of such women are commercializing their services, and then are earning through their passion and hobby. But if only that gets into measured value, then our economy is boosted as well. While many initiatives are taken care by, many of them, my contribution should also be there. And that's how in various organizations that I have worked with, many initiatives that are supporting women is when I started. Some of the initiatives have been award-winning for the organization and for myself as well. And that kind of paved my way to talk more about it, and to also, bring in more visibility and bring in that kind of tribe forming. And then gradually you elevate yourself to be an influencer, and then times have been favorable for me to rise to that level. And then a lot of women did see merit in what I am talking about, because it's not high fly that I talk. And one of the piece that I keep talking, and then there's something that many women have approached and appreciated is, I mean, I always feel it's a three-dimensional approach, and this is something I've spoken in many forums and in some of the articles that I've written as well, where industry has felt the need for getting back women, and there are a lot of changes that the organizations are doing, and then they don't want to miss out in the race, and then they are being innovative in bringing and retaining women in their careers, and supporting and facilitating a better career enhancement for them. It's also about social change that has to happen. Slowly we see that change as well. I'm sure younger generation is a lot more receptive for their spouses to be working and contributing. So what kind of pressurizes women is homemaking, childbearing, elderly care. These are the three major things that women take as an additional burden when they have to pursue. And I'm sure these days men are more sensitive towards it, and they contribute, because all these are partnership, right? I mean, you are partners for life, then you need to equally share all of these burdens as well. When it is shared, then both of them have a good share of growth and prospects. So when that change has to happen, there's a lot of allyship that needs. I mean, men have to support and influence other men to support, such thought process. Well, that is the second, element. And the third and the most crucial one is women to come together, network more, inspire each other, influence each other, impact each other. And I mean, for some of us, it might be a little more advantageous to pursue our career. Maybe the ecosystem, maybe we have supporting family and understanding, in-laws and or parents are supporting and things like that. But some, it might not be so easy. The least that one can do is be part of the tribe. Be part of the tribe, and then the ones who are taking a lead gain strength because you are seeing a larger tribe following you. And the ones who are not able to contribute in the forefront are also going to be charged on it, because you're part of that tribe, and then you're seeing those moments happening. Because if today women are working and then being in the position, I mean, we have moved, as we raise high, today we are looking at global standards of 35% of women in workforce, and India is competing with that percentage. We would want to see more and more, but at least we have seen some progress in some sectors, not in all sectors. But can we kind of bring in those elements as well? And if one sector is doing well, that itself will have a positive domino effect on the other sectors.
But how you want to educate them?
So you will have to keep talking more. I mean, use platforms such as these, and thank you so much for bringing that and spinning that element. I think what kind of enables here is the awareness. There are many such forums that have started, and I get invited to talk as well and contribute as well, and then let people know that yes, there will be hard trade-offs one has to do. Either you trade off, and then get into this understanding as well, as there isn't a perfect woman concept. That was something that was entrusted on, which made women to feel burden about. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay not to be perfect. It's okay to trade off, and more women are talking about it. So that kind of influences the rest of the woman. So therefore, because what also happens is, as and when the economy is flourishing and more women are wanting to pursue their career, if we do not support this ecosystem of the societal change, then many women will either, many women of my generation gave up career. Now women don't want to give up career. They rather give up the familyhood.
That's true.
And the dividend that we have as an economy, India is flourishing on the workforce, right? Employable workforce. Yeah, they're not yet skilled completely, but then employable workforce, we will lose that dividend. So therefore, it's important that men also recognize that they support this ecosystem and be part of a women's journey.
Yeah, good. Now you're talking about more like women and men combination. Let's say if you talk about, like, say 100 HR people, okay, let's say you have a forum for 100, how much percentage of women will be there in that way? What is the percentage? Just to know that.
It varies from different industry to industry, definitely.
Where is a more percentage wise when it comes to women HR?
See,
in the IP sector or manufacturing or in any other?
I mean, organizations have also taken lead in terms of manufacturing, which typically is a notion of being a masculine, sector. There are organizations which, as like Tata Motors, have had a plant set up exclusively for women, right? So there are many such things that are happening. Change has happened, not sufficient. It has to grow. And people, we feel, okay, maybe technology organizations has a better representation. Yes, it might be better than the rest, but it's definitely not. If it were not to be that, I don't think organizations would initiate anything called as Women in Tech.
Correct.
There are so many such forums that are there where we are promoting every sector. Women representation has to be there. For many centuries, the privileges were deprived. So if we have to revive, there is, a lot of effort that is needed. I mean, I use one analogy, if it's okay, if it's
absolutely.
So it's like, to make a white circle black, it's easy. You just take black paint and then do that. And the same black paint, if it has to come back to white circle, you need so much of white paint to, paint on that black circle to make it white. So we have moved very easily towards depriving the other half of the economy, depriving the women from their, credits and abilities. So if we have to revive, there's a lot of efforts that is needed, and I'm so glad I am in some bit able to contribute and also influence many other women to contribute. And now I'm slowly, talking to men like you who find it more important to get women back. And when we were chatting over, when you said your wife is part of your organization and you have few of your friends who are part of organization, that talks about why you would want to bring women back to, contributing things. So which is really nice. I mean, we need more men like you.
Because your background is academic was psychology, right? And my next question is like, there is a lot of things happening in the world, like recent incidents like suicide cases. Some of the two companies that taken a storm in India, especially. When it's going to work balance life, how are you going to manage? Like, why people are taking some drastic decision in their life? I know there is some personal reason also. Even though I understand a couple of people have the most of the work pressure, how you have to manage those things. Very important.
Very crucial. And I think more and more organizations are recognizing the workplace well-being. It's not just limited to, if I am working on my task and then delivering it on time, output is great, there ends the task. It's no more just that kind of a check box. It has got to do a lot more than just that work deliverables. Post my work, what do I think more on? What is challenging and affecting me in my personal front? How am I dealing with those elements? Play a very crucial role in workplace, right? I mean, it may or may not. I might be very I might be very good in managing my stress level at work, but I'm putting up with it, right? I can only do to some extent. So I'm putting up with it only to ensure that my personal challenges are not reflected in my work, and I need this job to survive. So there are many such things, and this is not only for men. Only for women. It is for men as well. Everyone who's working have their own personal challenges. So it's so important that we see how much of work is influencing the personal life and how much of personal life is going to influence the workplace. So there isn't a balance as such. Some of my learned friends also say that it's a myth when we have to say work-life balance. It is not possible, but rather it is more about integration. How can we integrate work and life, together, where we have that flexibility that can be given when, okay, these are the deliverables. If it can be done in this much time, it's not about maybe I might need a little more extra time because it could be as simple as the maid hasn't come and the chores have left unattended, and then I need to get some food ready for my children and things like that. Could also create stress. So if we are able to give that flexibility, and the policies are so supportive that you can take off when it is needed, you come back and work at your leisure. So all of this kind of give pathway to manage your stress. And the most important influencing factor, it's spoken but not spoken enough, is also about sensitizing the men of the family, right? The men of the family, that it is not just the women's responsibility. And a lot of such things. I've had some of my good colleagues who have then recognized that, okay, when we have spoken about all of these challenges, have kind of even acknowledged that I'm sure women in my family are facing the same challenges like you.
That's true.
Now can I go back and support my women in my family in order to not have the challenges that you have? So when we are talking, so if we are able to bring that kind of sensitization, so then there is that equal share of all those three major things, right? Elderly care, child care, and homemaking. Parenting, if we were to call it as parenting, and elderly care and homemaking are to be equally shared. So then the stress level is going to be lot more channelized.
Correct.
And if there's something beyond this, then see, as an organization, we have a limit to influence.
Agreed.
But there are many policies and many practices and many creative initiatives have been taken by the organizations to bring in that kind of comfortness. And if those initiatives are not there, then you are not going to be recognized as a good place to work with. Right? So these are few of the social changes that are coming in, and it is needed. More and more is needed. So it's better off in an organized sector. It is still not yet influenced the unorganized sector. It is not yet influenced in the sectors which are local and not global. So, but then I'm sure it will soon pick up.
You talking about flexibility in working or balance. Now there is again, people are talking about more the hybrid, like the work from home, and some people want to, the management talking about that, no, you have to come back full time now. Like it's been a honeymoon for the last 2-3 years. Now everyone want to come back, and some people don't agree because they're so used to that work from home, and they offer 2 days work from home or 3 days work from home like that. What you would take on that? Like,
So there are multiple views on
right. These kind of things like through hybrid, the pressure what we discussed earlier, that going to be reduced or like?
No, I think situations are different in each household.
Okay.
Okay. I do have some women who have spoken to me saying, getting back to office is better because they're not pressurized with the household
Agree on that, yeah,
piece.
definitely.
Once I go back home, I'll have to deal with the battle. I might as well do that than sitting the whole day there and, getting pressurized on that.
Yes.
So there are women who have mentioned
Agree on it.
that. And there are women who find it more easy. I think flexibility is here. My personal notion, flexibility is here. And if you are not giving flexible, I think someone else is giving. So workforce will start moving towards there. Maybe on compulsion, some might come. Some might not. organizations have achieved to get workforce back. And the reason why it is also given, I think it's got to do with wiring of our, upbringing, right? When something has been given as an advantage, as a benefit, we should take good care of it. If you take it for your best of the ability and you spoil the nature of the benefit given, that's when it becomes challenging. And why are employers or the organizations wanting people to come back is there is disengagement in the way one is getting connected to work. Contribution or the output is delayed for various reasons. And it could also be that, from a employee perspective, I've had chances when we have done some kind of open house or things like that, and it was virtual. We keep asking people to come on video so that at least there is a facial representation. And many take it so light that, why should I? Why should? So that, that concept of out of sight, out of mind, that can be another strong influencer. So therefore, organizations see, what is seen is getting measured. What is measured is what is getting delivered. So all of those ancient concepts also play a role. While from the organization point of it, it could also be that organizations might have not enabled their the middle management level enough equipment has been given. When I say equipment, not tools in terms of, but rather equip them to manage diverse workforce, right? There is multi-generational workforce, there is cross-cultural workforce. There is we are all working in a global organization, so global atmosphere. So there is so much of cultural ethnicity, all of these. So a lot of such sensitization and a lot of such initiatives have to be bought in. Businesses might take this lightly when something else is more important. This is least supported. But trust me, if this is not administered well, it's going to. So I say all of these initiatives. All of these elements contribute to the culture of the organization, and culture is like a backbone. If you are not having a straight backbone, you're not going to sit straight. So you're going to be.
The culture is very important, right?
Very important. Any organization, culture is important, and culture will always remain top down. So the leaders have to follow and then demonstrate for the rest of the team members to follow and things. So culture is important. Culture has to be uplifted. If there are businesses which are not really giving importance to the cultural aspect, it will perish.
Yes.
It will not flourish.
Yeah, in the earlier conversation, you're talking about there are a lot of articles related to HR, right? Could help us to understand what kind of articles. It's more into women related or any HR things. What exactly you mean?
So I think I've been fortunate enough to work and contribute in multiple forums in different formats. I was one of the initial advisors for a platform called HR Tales, which was trying to HR Tales.
Okay.
HR Tales, which was bringing in it's a kind of a peer learning platform. Take one concept, split it to a couple of questions on that concept and what each HR leader is thinking about, and then bring that, I think that really played a very crucial time in terms of, bringing that visibility. For example, if both of us have contributed to one concept, you're going to learn my perspective, I'm going to learn your perspective. So, we are becoming that richer in knowing multiple perspectives, right? So, those have been some of thing. And then some of my conversations and panel discussions have also got converted to some articles in some of the pieces. So, that has been there. Do I really write as a blog? I haven't yet started. I think that's something I might do. What comes out naturally to me is writing than talking. But these days I'm only doing talking than writing. Here and there, I, kind of satisfy my aspiration of writing it on LinkedIn and all of that. So, gradually I might want to look at it. That has been the place where my articles or my thoughts have been published.
Okay, great. And as you know that there's a lot of changes in technology, right? And especially when it comes to me also, like as a salesperson, I'm not that creating technology or I'm not a tech savvy kind of person. But it's made me to change myself, because when the technology is going to change, we need to adapt those things.
Yes.
And that's one of the biggest challenge for any or a person or department wise. And as we discussing about this thing, HR, how that evolve as a technology, because I do understand it's a human resource. Like you need to be more one-to-one or more to be people person. But saying that in present situation, technology make a huge difference. What your take on that?
See, to me, I've always felt technology is an enabling factor. It can't replace the human, for sure. I mean, we are in the times of AI. We are talking about Gen AI replacing many such things. I mean, we have also evolved. See, even when computerization and things like that came, there was a fear factor that, computers will replace human, and then we wouldn't have enough job. And there were several banks and many such institutions which had offered VRS and things like that. So we have seen that phase of, economy as well. And now it's the time of AI, which is lot more faster and lot more challenging, and we don't know where and how the AI will regulate itself. So it's here to stay. We only have to ensure that it enables our function. What will not get replaced is the cognitive ability of any function. That can't be replaced by AI, at least now, because AI is still evolving. Yeah. So we still have a lot to do that. And then we do have several HR forums where we do talk about not just HR forums, in various other platforms as well, where we are talking, bring the human back to the technology. Bring that human element back to technology. I mean, for example, not to quote which source it was, one of them had approached, a known acquaintance had approached, they were trying to set up a chapter, to support. It's completely a technology enabling, learning platform and things like that. And where, industry folks come and discuss, and then it becomes more like how you have your BNI for, business thing, like that it was for technology. And they were checking with me if I am available for them to design something on the human front. I'm like, I'm a technology. I'm not from technology. What role do I have there? And that's when I was told, we want human to be interjected into the technology forums, and we don't want to miss those human element, and therefore. You might be the right person to drive it. And then I said, okay, right now my plate is full. I mean, we'll surely evaluate, and the talks have just stopped there. So that's one such element where I'm saying, where the human element is going to be there. I mean, we will have to continue. It's not going to get confined, but it's going to shift. What we have had by far might not, what has brought us still here will not get us there, right? So that way whatever has advanced by far will not be sufficient for us to scale further. So we will have to be tech enabled. We will have to, support ourselves in being advanced. But will it replace? No, it will not replace. It will only enhance.
Yeah.
But where and how it will enhance is a little unknown or a gray area, but then we'll have to be more agile in terms of learning and equipping ourselves.
That's what you should be learn every day, or like you need to be update yourself.
Absolutely.
When I talk about learning, you have more than 25 years experience, right? And same thing here also. Uh, I know learning is very important, but until the COVID happened, I didn't give so much of thought, like attention to the learning, because COVID has taught me, and when I start focusing more on learning, that has changed my life. Okay,
Absolutely.
as a like we are in 25 years experience in sales, and you're 25 years in the HR. What you do to update yourself? Like, what are the learning things you're going to like related to HR only? What are the things you do for learning? Like, you do watch videos, or you go anyway. You're going to attend a lot of HR forum. I know you're going to do a lot of networking. Any books you're going to add, or any courses you're going to do for related to HR?
So, I did take, in peak of my career, I did take a break to do my, I gave myself a sabbatical break and then pursued my course in IAMB.
Oh.
So that was one of my dream as well, to be called as alumni of IAMB. So I kind of satisfied myself on that.
Great.
So yeah, time and again, I have ensured to, grease myself. Because we'll then get rusted otherwise. I mean, we will have to remain, naturally moving along with the flow. You're right. I mean, we will have to keep learning, and learning is a non-ceasing impact. How do I equip myself? Yes, I listen to a lot of podcasts and a lot of talks. I read a bit of articles, and networking has played a very crucial role. While you're attending conference, your role, as I said, you're right. I mean, when we are looking at perspectives, when we are networking, I mean, I'm learning so much of your perspective,
Correct.
which can kind of bring in more awareness for me about that topic. So that has played a very crucial role. And then being part of many such forums and and contributing to the thought leadership meet, you're then put into force when you're going as a speaker or as a panel. I mean, you need to equip yourself, you need to read. So that has also enabled me to remain relevant. What I have not done much, at least in the past few years, has been reading into concrete book reading ability. I have kind of thought, not as a resolution, I don't believe in resolutions and then breaking it, but a gradual attempt that I want to do is reading. And as a person, I'm very influenced with ancient Indian wisdom. So I love reading a lot of ancient scriptures and things like that. So I thought, okay, since I like them, it might be good for me to start reading those books. That way, I'm going to equip myself and then bring in Indian concepts more confidently. The world has to know our rich culture and rich knowledge that we had, and the wisdom was at its peak. So can we bring those elements to life in my little way? So that will be my attempt of reading going forth, is what I have started the year with, and I hope I continue with that. I do have a couple of books kept on my working table to keep reminding me that, yeah, you need to read, kinds. So that was it. And then I'm an ardent follower of Krishna, so I said, okay, let me start off with unfolding myself in better understanding of Bhagavad Gita to bring it life into practical life. So therefore, I've kept those books to its start.
No, I heard a lot of people focusing on reading Bhagavad Gita, because couple of recently that the chess, he after won the match, he talking about Bhagavad Gita, how it will help me to keep his mind.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Absolutely.
And people are moving towards those kind of things. That's good things. What is happening?
Absolutely.
Things. And you have so much of experience, and you are a thought leader, you are a HR leader, you do a lot of panel discussion. What next?
Wow. What next?
I know as a person, if you achieved almost all what people going to desire. And I know,
being fortunate.
I know that staying there is very difficult, and you need to go to next level. What next from you?
Like what I shared previously, I'm sure whatever bit I have done is not sufficient. I'll have to sustain it by, contributing it further, be it on the women piece. So I keep saying, the DI initiatives, right? I mean, doesn't just have women. It has many other things. But I said, let me concentrate on one. So whatever I choose, I mean, this is my natural ability to look at it this way, that whatever I do, can I do it in a way where I am able to consolidate on one thing so that I can see some larger impact. So therefore, I say, if people ask, okay, you are a DI champion and what are the other work? I say, no, I am a DI champion for women.
Acha.
Other pieces, there's a lot to do. I might have not equipped myself to do that effectively as I do for women. So I will continue to contribute out there to ensure that we have more women coming back to workforce and more women not leaving workforce, and we are equally contributing. So that will continue to be there in various forum, and if I'm able to take it to the national level, nothing like it. Hopefully, my association with NHRD gives me that kind of visibility to influence a national crowd. I look forward for that. The other element that keeps driving me within the workplace is culture. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of sensitization that has to be done. And what also is important is we ensure, as much as we ensure that the organization is keeping the culture, but the newer workforce and the older workforce integration has to be so very well taken care of. So that piece is something that, as and when I get associated with any organization, that will be my favorite spot to work more on that. Also from not to sound too aspirational, but then this is what I am, where I can kind of influence to ensure the dividend that we as a country have a great element of the workforce. We shouldn't lose that. We shouldn't lose that, and we should continue, because right now all the flourishing economies or the developed countries are facing challenge of leaner workforce. So leaner workforce is aged population, right? So we should have that cycle continuing. So which means we need to enable supported forefront, not just from an organization point, but also from a social change that has to happen, so that women continue to cherish both career as well as motherhood.
Right.
Yeah, so both are equally important. So that is the piece that I would like to work more profoundly on. And on my personal level, as I said, I would want to enrich myself in equipping myself on ancient Indian wisdom concepts. It could be various things.
That is interesting. Very interesting.
Yes. And how I can bring it to implementation to whichever organization or to whichever advising that I am currently doing, I would want to bring those elements as well. So, yeah.
Thanks. Thank you so much for sharing. And you mentioned NHRD. What do you mean by NHRD? Because I should know that.
Oh.
Yeah, I know actually. Yeah.
Okay. So NHRD.
It's like a HR forum?
Yes, very much. And it is a very old HR forum, which kind of... okay, I might have to give the genesis of NHRD for you to understand. So it's a not-to-profit organization. And started back in 1986 by people like Dr. T.V. Rao and Uday Parekh and all of them. I mean, the students of HR worship as gurus.
Okay.
So they started this, movement where the HR function had to be uplifted than just being an administrative function as a personnel department. So I'm sure on time evolving, the facets of NHRD has also kind of evolved. So it's India's largest HR network. We have close to 54 plus chapters pan India, and having our international footprints in Dubai, Singapore and Nepal. and we have more than 20,000 plus HR professionals as members. It's
Wow.
a paid membership.
20,000.
20,000 plus. It's a paid membership. So we are a community, but beyond the community, I'm sure with these kind of merits with us, we are more like an industry body where we are able to introduce newer platforms for HR. So it is the concept of NHRD is to enable the HR function to be more capable of being relevant to the business. Right, so that's been the core or the crux or the essence of NHRD. So I am elected as honorary secretary for Bangalore chapter. Bangalore chapter is subscribed to the National Secretariat.
Got it, yeah.
So yeah, that's how NHRD is spread. I mean, yeah,
That's great.
so yes.
What is the benefit of NHRD? Like, the person want to join with you. Like, what is the benefit?
Oh,
Is it only related to HR, or anyone can join? Like, as a business owners?
Definitely. As the name suggests, it is for HR. But then I'm sure we do recognize that HR is not just the human resource functions responsibility. It is a function of every individual in the organization. So perhaps it's a great learning platform for business leaders as well to learn what is it to become a HR leader. Not from a functional perspective, but to be a true human leader, right? So I'm sure it's going to benefit that way, and then you're going to interact a lot with the HR network. So as part of NHRD, what we do is we do organize a lot of certifications and learning programs for HR professionals to enable their, to enhance their capabilities or competencies and then support them. And see, the beauty of NHRD here is, I mean, we are all HR professionals doing this over and above our day jobs. I have personally got into NHRD because I kind of feel, I'm always driven by the value of paying it forward. So can I really contribute to the fraternity that I have flourished my career and kind of enable that function? So therefore, I see that as a benefit. So as a HR professional, I know where what is paining or where what is challenging. So therefore, as this forum comes in, the real diagnosis that has to be given. So you're bringing in more relevant programs. And since it is a not-for-profit organization, it becomes easy for us to offer it from not a business objective, but from a progressive objective, from a developmental objective. And that's the nature. And to become a member, yes, we welcome everyone. As I said, we are 20,000 plus members across all the chapters. And we look forward for more business leaders to join us and contribute.
Got it.
Then we are able to bring in that interface as to, can we make all our interventions and programs more relevant to the business challenges?
Yes.
Right? So then we integrate it quite well there.
That's great. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And we come on end of the episode now.
Thank you.
What tips you want to give who's upcoming HR professional?
Tips, wow. I think a piece of advice from me, not just for HR professionals, but to all budding professionals, more focused to the women, of course, is do not give up your career. If there is a life challenge to manage, pause it, but don't stop. And for the upcoming budding male professionals, men, do recognize the fact that somehow we are wired differently. The woman and man are wired differently. Recognize that fact and be a strong ally to support and flourish women's career. Women's career is as important as a man's career. It is not a secondary income. It is an important income contribution. Recognizing that fact So that's one element. And together, we will have to ensure that the workforce that we have has to be effective. I mean, we are talking about skilled unemployment. It's only because educated unemployment. But where is it missing is it skilled enough? Everyone is educated, but is it skilled enough to take the advancement of the way industry is progressing? So do not stop. Upgrading yourself, be relevant to times, invest on, there's so much you're earning, invest a bit of it on your career advancement, and that is what will help in surviving.
Thank you so much, Kasturi, for sharing all these very experiences. Definitely, we are going to get a lot of benefit out of it.
Thank you so much for the invite, and I really appreciate your effort in bringing this platform together and increasing the viewership. And I'm glad that I'm able to support you in some bit here. And thank you for the invite.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming, Kasturi.
Thank you so much for my pleasure, and
All
thank you
for you.
Thank you so much. Oh, that's so noble. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank
It's been great conversation with Kasturi Cotha, and there's a lot of learning from me, especially. And if you ask me, the best takeaways, the 3 takeaways from me. The number 1 is celebration. When she started her career, she failed the first attempt, but she never gave up, and she started celebrating those things of having apple cake. That shows that irrespective of anything going to happen, you need to celebrate. If it's a failure or success, that become a habit in your life. And second thing is never give up. This always resonates with me because I'm a sportsman and never give up in my policy. That is very well resonated with me, because I know initially or now also we get a lot of challenge in life. There's a lot of hurdles going to happen, but you should have the mindset of never give up. If you have that kind of mindset, I know you're going to reach in a different level. And the third one is, you need, as a spouse, you need to be support system for each other, because life, whenever you're going to have a grow like together, no, that's very important. You need to be grow together. If someone is not going to support system for yourself, your spouse, it's very difficult. And these 3 takeaways, what I learned from this, thank you so much for sharing. I thought it's going to help you also. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this episode, please share with your friends and relatives, and just click a button of like and show some love to me. See you in the next episode. Thank you.